huge matchup. I believe, give me a second. I think Houston won the first game. Let me see who won it between these two teams. The last time that they played. Houston. Okay, so Houston. No, Jacksonville won 19-15. Okay. I mean, again, look at the AFC. Look at that. Philadelphia smacked them upside the head. The Giants smacked them upside the head. I mean, come on, man. Oops upside your head, man. Say oops upside your head. You know what I'm saying? They can be talking about the NFC, but we be putting hands to ass over in the NFC. We just beat up on each other. You know what I'm saying? But again, man, this should be a good matchup, between these two teams, and the winner again is going to be leading and have the leg up in the AFC South Division. And so, again, now let's go over to, before we kind of switch back and look at some other key matchups, we want to go through our Super Bowl odds. Now, this was difficult. This was extremely difficult. Now, again, there may be, some definitely, some discussions, but we got to keep it fair here in the PHFL. Because on the front, we asked the question, can the Ravens, 3 games left in the PHFL season, who are the threats? Let's go through it and talk about, who are the threats, and can the Ravens run first approach win a chip? And the answer is, of course they can win a chip. They've done it before. It's a proven method. It's a long-tested scheme that works, because 95% of the people can't stop the run. You know what I mean? 95% of the people can't stop the run. So again, you have most people. Again, we don't want to give any tips on what they should do and what they shouldn't do. What we can say is, again, most people struggle to stop the run, and right now the Ravens by far are playing the best all-around complimentary football in the PHFL. I believe they're on a 13-game winning streak. So again, right now, these guys, the Ravens are right now at they're playing at a Super Bowl level. Also, again, we got to say, about the Seattle Seahawks. Again, they made it to the Super Bowl last year. So you got to look at them and say, okay, well, wait a minute. If they did it last year, then of course they can do it again. They can do it this year. Absolutely. And then also, again, we got to go through our top 3 teams. And right now in the PHFL, our top 3 teams right now, as far as Super Bowl odds are concerned, is first your Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks right now are the favorites to win the PHFL Bowl. Right now they got everything rolling. Jalen Milroe should be the favorite to win the MVP. Again, they're playing, outstanding football, and right now they have to be the favorite. Let me look at it and see who is the favorite as far as league MVP. Let's go to yearly award. Yep, Jalen Milroe right now is the favorite to win the league MVP. So you're talking about the league MVP player, and again, you're talking about a guy right now that's putting up great, having a great statistical season, and they have the wins to back it. Now there was a lot of controversy, when we were on previously and earlier in the day talking about the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, the Baltimore Ravens are 14-1, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are 12-2. And you're saying, wait a minute, hold on. How can you have the Pittsburgh Steelers ahead of the Baltimore Ravens as far as Super Bowl odds? Again, we got to be fair. We got to be fair. We got to be consistent in the PHFL. And truthfully, the Baltimore Ravens have not defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers since we started. Again, hey, shout out to Coach Woe in the chat asking why we so serious. And we had to be, Coach Woe, because sometimes, man, enough is enough with the tomfoolery and the shimrockery. Sometimes you just got to call it out. But again, the Baltimore Ravens have not defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just a bad matchup. It's just a bad matchup. If the Baltimore Ravens can avoid the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to the Super Bowl, and it'll be Seattle. The consensus, it will be Seattle versus the Baltimore Ravens. If the Ravens play the Steelers based off the previous trends, the Steelers are just a bad matchup for the Ravens. It's just, I mean, we got to call it, we got to call it what it is. We have to call it what it is. And so hopefully again, they, prove us wrong. And again, they could, knock off their arch nemesis. But right now, the Steelers, again, the Steelers have their number. Going into the next team right now with the highest Super Bowl odds is your New England Patriots. I mean, Coach Marr right now, again, he's at 20-1, but right now, Coach Marr is starting to find his offensive groove. Again, he's running the ball. Definitely, having a no. Okay, wait a minute. Let's freeze. Let me go back. Okay, so hold on. Because this just came out of the Seattle Twitter feed. They're saying a 12-2 team, second in odds, is disrespectful. So wait a minute. So let me ask this. So let me back it up one. So let's back it up one. So hold on. Let's back it up one. So these are the three teams right there, right? Right now, all three of these teams have the best record in the PHFL, right? So if you look at this fairly, right, and the Baltimore Ravens have lost 4 consecutive games, maybe 3 or 4 consecutive games to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They haven't beat them. Now, one game the Pittsburgh Steelers the Ravens are going to say, we put our backups in. Okay, that's fine. But the game that you didn't have your backups in, you got blown out. And then they lost again this year. What more can you say with one team that can't beat the other? I get it as far as the 14-1 versus 12-2, but when one team has knocked off the other team, probably even going back to last year, 5, maybe 6 consecutive times, at a certain point, you gotta look at it and say, okay, this team has this team's number until proven otherwise, and that's literally where we are between the Steelers and the Ravens. So again, going in at number 4 is your New England Patriots. Going in at number 4. Again, Coach Marr is getting his groove. Definitely has Drake May as, definitely just a balanced team. The New England Patriots are a balanced team. So again, and they have a championship DNA. They've done it before. So it's not like, okay, it's been a while, but again, once you've done it once, again, it's almost like riding a bike. You'll get to it, and maybe again you'll fall off and maybe scrape your knee up, but ultimately you'll get back on that bike and you'll be able to kind of get your footing. And that's where the New England Patriots are right now. They're back on the bike, and they're definitely, in the Super Bowl chase. Coming in at number 5 is your LA Chargers. Again, another team, that has championship pedigree, has a championship DNA, championship coach. Just a quiet. They're laying back in the weeds. They're sitting back right now. And again, if the ball bounces right, they definitely can. I think the only team that, again, let me pull up their record just to see kind of like, who have they lost to? Because I think, again, like in the PHFL, it's really all about matchups. Like who is this team matching up against? And I believe like the Steelers are like a bad matchup for the Chargers, but I believe with like some of the other top tier teams in the AFC, they match up extremely competitive with. So let me look at it. Unfortunately, I can't pull up last year's schedule, but we definitely can pull up this year's schedule. So looking at the Chargers right now, they are 10-4 on the season, and let's see, they beat New England, lost a close game to Seattle 20-17. I lost a close game to Cleveland 42-38. So again, this is a team right now that could definitely, and they knocked off San Francisco, who's in our PHFL odds. So definitely, the Chargers can definitely, make it and make a surprise run in the AFC.
coming in. Hey, shout out to Coach Jimmy. Hey, we appreciate it, man. You got to beat him. That's right. You got to beat him to earn it, man. You have to, man. Coming in at number 6 is your Cleveland Browns. Again, the Cleveland Browns, the only team that the Cleveland Browns, again, right now it appears like the tide has shifted, no pun intended, with like their matchup against the Steelers. I believe the Steelers have beaten them the last 3 times, and then the Ravens in Cleveland just go back and forth. So that's literally a crapshoot. So if you take Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cleveland and just kind of put them into a hopper and shake it up and move it around, then definitely, one of those 3, you wouldn't be surprised if either one of those teams, come out with a victory. But definitely the Cleveland Browns have an opportunity to knock off and get to, because I think they lost, and again, it was a fumble the reason why they lost, or a failed fumble recovery in last year's playoffs against the I believe it was the Steelers, right? I believe it was the Steelers or the Ravens that cost them the victory last year. So again, that's definitely a team that could make a deep run. Coming in at number 7 is your Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, just based off of talent, they got a talented roster. Again, if they could just put it all together, maybe lean on, Saquon Barkley. Again, that's a team that can definitely make a run. Teddy has done it before. And again, this is a team right now from a talent perspective that could definitely make a deep playoff run. Coming in at number 8 in your PHFL Super Bowl odds is your Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, you got to look at this from a fair perspective and really say, okay, so wait a minute. Let's look at like Cincinnati, for example, because right now, we're looking at the Cincinnati Twitter feed, and they're just like, they're really, they're coming down on the media. And again, we're just calling it, right down the middle. We here at the PHFL, we don't give you no angles. We just give you the story. So looking at Cincinnati right now, okay, their losses: Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Pittsburgh again, Cleveland again, and Baltimore. How the fuck are they going to get to the Super Bowl? I'll wait. And again, I hate, because we got kids watching this, and kids, please forgive language. But again, how in the F are they going to get it? I'll repeat their losses again. Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. How are they going to get there? Please help me. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? We try to keep it neutral with the PHFL. You know what I mean? That's what, the commissioner, hey, man, you're doing a great job. We appreciate what you do for the league, and we just like your unbiased approach, Sleazy A. Smith. Just keep it neutral. Regardless of what the people say, you keep it neutral. Yes, sir. We understand. So now let's just play this out. So, okay, we got 2 versus 7. So let's just, so right now, they will play against the Chargers. Okay, so right now, matter of fact, where my bettors at? Hold on, Coach Mizzy. So right now, we got FB. We got the Chargers versus Twitch in the first round. So if this was if we had real money action, I wish we could bet too, real money action. But if we had real money action, Coach BG and Coach Mizzy, who you picking, the Chargers, or are you picking Cincinnati? Who you picking? So it's the Chargers versus the Bengals. Who y'all picking? Okay, so Mizzy said the Bengals. Okay. So BG said the Bengals. Okay. So now the Ravens. Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, so now Coach Sinner said the Chargers. So now we got 2-2. So now let's just say, for the sake of this discussion, right, that the Bengals make it out of the wild card round. Guess who they would play in the division round? Yep, the Baltimore Ravens. And the Baltimore Ravens have swept them. So how are they going to Super Bowl? How, bro? How they going? Like, come on, man. No, they're not going. But again, but hold on. But we're not going to disrespect Coach Twitch, because he could have a flashback. He do have Joe Burrow. He do have an explosive offense. So again, we definitely gotta just make sure that, hey, listen, let's give him his respect, because he definitely has earned it. Coming in at number 9 is your San Francisco. Oh my God, why do we have the wrong record? Hold on. Your San Francisco 49ers with Coach